So I just picked up some food from my grandmother's house. As you can see, wearing gloves. No mask though, but I'm in good condition, guys. But there's gonna be a chance of some thunderstorms this afternoon, especially with the sun coming out. The high was supposed to be about 56 degrees. I mean, it's a little chilly, but I don't really feel like wearing a jacket anymore. Even in the shade, it feels pretty warm out. The cloud base is around, I would say, from what I can tell, is around 1,400 feet high. See those tops of some buildings? How they're obscured? These cloud bases are around 1,400 feet above sea level. So the weather seems nice. You know, this cloud's clearing up now. I'm gonna put this on live stream. Hold on. So right now it's I'll say partly to mostly cloudy. Temperatures right now in the low to mid 50s. It's only 1 p.m., but I think it's gonna warm up to the mid to upper 50s, especially with the sun coming out, which I didn't think it was supposed to come out today. But with the sun coming out, there are some showers and thunder showers coming in from Pennsylvania. The main threat with these is going to be some small hail and maybe some gusty winds. There's not much in the way of lightning from them, but the air is cold aloft. So right now, temperatures are in the low 50s. Look, guys, you can tell the clouds are clearing up. The weather is clearing up. Temperatures are going to warm up, and you're going to have some intense showers coming in from Pennsylvania. The main threat with these showers, especially with how cold it's going to be aloft, is going to be some hail. It's going to be very cold aloft. The 32-degree line will be just about 5,000 feet. With how warm it's going to be at the surface, the weather will definitely be conducive for some small hail and some gusty winds. I'm going to currently check the radar, but there are some intense showers coming in from Pennsylvania. I'm going to currently take a look at the radar, and I'll show you what's going on right now. So, surface is pretty warm. So I just checked the radar, and there are some storms in the area. I mean, not storms. There's some showers to the west, but there's no lightning with any of this activity. So I can basically conclude that the threat of any thunderstorms is probably largely going to be over very soon. I mean, the main threat might be some small, maybe pea-sized hail later, maybe around 4 or 5 p.m. Some of the more intense activity comes in. So right now it's only it's currently 1:30 p.m. I believe. Yeah, it's 1:30. It's currently 1:35. Temperatures right now are in the low 50s. I think we'll eke out maybe a low close to 60 degrees, especially as the sun starts coming out. You know, once sun starts coming out, and you know you heat the ground some more, and the air is still cold aloft, there's definitely going to be a chance of thunderstorms. I mean, the air quality is very good today, even though, you know, it seems like it's hazy out. This haze is because of moisture. You know, there's hardly any traffic going on today. The air quality I checked today is good. The PMP forecast, the fine particulates, is well below normal, actually. It just looks humid. It just looks really humid. The air is hazy right now because of the weather. But the crazy thing is, despite all this haze, the sky looks kind of clear. Yes, the visibility is pretty good, other than, you know, the humidity. Like on a day like today, if it was if you had air pollution in full, the visibility would be a little worse today. Like, I mean, the cloud ceiling is going up. The air is clearing up now. So I'm going to be going home now. I'm going to be ending this stream shortly when I get home. But look, guys, the sky's clearing up. Which will mean more instability for later this afternoon. Planes are still flying. I mean, here's a crazy thing. If you go over to Long Island Hospital, which is just 2 blocks over, you got trucks coming in, freezer trucks to put bodies in. Yes, freezer trucks to store dead bodies. If you hear me correctly, there are freezer trucks just a couple blocks over to store dead bodies. And Trump is talking about Elmhurst Hospital, about how bad it is over there. Elmhurst Hospital is only a 10-minute drive away from me right now. Elmhurst Hospital is one of the hardest hit areas right now. And one night I heard 13 people passed away. Look at that. Buses are still running. I mean, here's the thing about COVID-19. It's a serious illness. Don't get me wrong, it's very serious. It's mostly serious for the elderly and those with underlying health conditions, such as COPD, people who smoke, people who drink. They're at high risk. I have a few family members who are sick with coronavirus. No, I mean confirmed sick. They have tested positive for the coronavirus. How did they get sick? Grocery shopping, believe it or not. They got sick while on a grocery trip. They got the symptoms about 4 or 5 days after they went grocery shopping. They developed COVID symptoms. Cough. Oh, look, JetBlue. Planes are still flying, guys. I mean, even though it's a serious illness, it's not to the point that they have to completely quarantine the area, even though Trump is considering that. Yes, my area is under a travel advisory, which means if you come in from here, you're going to be under a mandatory 14-day quarantine. And this is basically one of the worst impacted areas. Queens, the borough I'm in right now, is the worst impacted area in all of the country, in all of the world, actually. It's right where I am. Every time I come out of my house, even to do grocery shopping like I'm doing today, it's another risk. It's a necessary risk, but that's why I'm wearing gloves. It's why I'm taking vitamins. It's why I'm eating healthy. So if I do get COVID, I'm going to get mild symptoms. I also bought Mucinex, which my doctor highly recommends, saying if you get the coronavirus, the Mucinex will loosen up the mucus in your lungs. Most of the problems from the coronavirus is caused by mucus buildup in the lungs. So guys, it's best to take chest decongestants for this, especially if you're in good condition. If you get minor symptoms like a cold symptoms, not everyone will develop the SARS symptoms. The SARS symptoms are usually caused by people with either compromised immune systems or if the virus gets into the lungs and then you get secondary pneumonia. Most of the fatalities from this has been caused by secondary pneumonia. So my great uncle, the doctor prescribed him an antibiotic, and surprisingly he did rather well after that. So while his pneumonia was caused by secondary bacterial infections, he wasn't tested for COVID, but it was COVID because he developed a cough and a fever. The fever went away, then the cough continued, and then the fever came back, which meant he has COVID. He lives a couple blocks away from me. Well, beside the COVID, I think things are going to get better as time goes on, as more people stay home, not go places. I mean, I heard there's a potential for at least 100,000 deaths in the United States, which unfortunately is pretty likely, as you're going to have close to 1 million people get infected. They said that the peak rate of infection might not peak Like the rate of the infections might not peak for another 2 weeks. So guys, we might have close to 1 to 2 million infections in the country. There are even projections that 40 to 60% of California, New York. So if those, that's basically the worst case scenario. Worst case scenario is 150 million people get sick. Fact is, you won't have symptoms for 5 days before you get sick, which meant I could be a carrier right now. The fact that I'm not wearing a mask right now means I could be spreading this around, which is why I have to limit the time we spend outdoors. I have to practice social distancing, which I'm doing. Like, I'm practicing social distancing. I'm not going close to people. You know? I'm doing everything possible to both not get sick myself and not spread the illness to others. You know? Well, I gotta go make another weather update later.